I want to introduce somebody to you. A friend of mine, his name is Corey Bauer, and his story is unique, just like all of our stories are unique, how God works in our lives. So I'm going to ask him some questions just so you can get to know him a little bit better. And first of all, I just wanted to introduce himself and his family.
My name is Corey Bauer. And I'm here with my wife Heidi and our foster child, Bailey. Who we're trying to adopt, so I'm horrible at this.
All right, Corey, tell us a little bit about how you got to Oklahoma, where you used to live and what you used to do.
So we moved down here 2 years ago from North Dakota. I grew up on a farm in South Dakota and went to college and ended up in North Dakota. Met Heidi, got married in North Dakota, was there for about 15 years. So when I found a job in Oklahoma, and we prayed about it for probably almost a year before we actually ended up moving here, and we believe the Lord led us to Tulsa.
Okay, tell us a little bit about how you came to Eastwood Baptist Church, how you came here. Let me just ask you guys a question. How many of you guys, we're not trying to meddle in your lives, but how many of you guys currently are attending church each week? Raise your hand up. Currently attending church each week. Okay, Corey, tell us how you happened to come here.
Well, before we moved down here, we knew we were coming to Tulsa, so we actually went on the internet and looked at a number of churches that we might seem interested in Tulsa. Our first week, we moved down here, first week was in March of 2015. We ended up marking down some of those churches on the list, and then we decided to visit some of them. We went to another church on Sunday morning, not too far from here actually, and attended that. Thought the service was okay, but we wanted to check out the second church on our list, which ended up being Eastwood, and that was on a Sunday night. And so we thought it was just a normal service, and so we came thinking we were going to attend a normal service, and we ended up actually meeting, I believe it was Curtis at the door, who said that the normal church services aren't taking place on Sunday evenings. They're small groups, but you can certainly go upstairs and join one. So we went upstairs and joined Jeremy's group, and that's how it all started. We just had found a great, people were very loving here, and Jeremy very much invited us in, and it was just we knew this is where we belong.
Okay, and by the way, our small groups are getting ready to start September the 10th, and we would love to invite you to come to those. Very simple, very casual, not held here at the church, but at homes in the area, and we really have a good time digging in to the scriptures. All right, Corey, let me ask you a question. What's your church? By the way, let me stop here for a minute. Jeremy, raise your hand over there, would you? This is Jeremy Rhodes. He's our worship pastor. He's the one that had the small group that Corey and Heidi attended. Tell us about your church background, what you were raised, and how you happened to come to a Baptist church.
I was raised as a Catholic, very strict Catholic. My mom was very church-going, and we went to every church function growing up, and just seemed always throughout my entire childhood a little bit empty, a little bit, how do you say it? What's the right word? Rulish, I guess, or whatever. Just ritual, yeah, religious. And so, I guess when I went off to college, I just was not sure of the religion that I was taking part in, which was the Catholic religion. So I just began to look and began to wonder and began to think about it. And I believe the whole time God was drawing me. I met a person in college who invited me, who was a Christian at the time, but I didn't know what Christian even meant, really. Who I began starting to date, actually, and she talked to me about Jesus and salvation and the Bible, and read verses to me and basically witnessed to me, and then invited me one day to her church. And the whole message, the whole time I was at church, I felt the Holy Spirit drawing me, and I felt the whole message was geared toward me. And I remember the preacher asking for an altar call, come down and please receive Jesus if you've been called, and I just felt the Holy Spirit drawing me, that this was the time, it was either now or never. And so I did. I took took my first step, and I believe at that moment I was saved, and I accepted Jesus Christ, and it's been great there ever.
Okay, thank you, Corey. What would you tell someone that's seeking for a relationship with God or seeking to know Him better? What would you say they should do? What would be their first step?
Yes. Talk to a Christian. Talk to someone that knows the Bible, someone that knows about Jesus Christ, has a relationship with Jesus Christ. That would be definitely the first step. Go to church. Listen. Have an open ear and have an open mind. And yeah.
Okay, we're going to have a time of prayer in a minute. I want you guys to give Corey a hand for his testimony. On your table, there are a couple of things. One is a CD, and that CD is probably of me preaching a Sunday morning service. You're welcome to take it for free. If you have a CD player, just pop it in and listen to it. The other thing that I want to draw your attention to is that colored basket on your table. Pull one of those prayer request cards out of it, and in a moment, we're going to give you time to pray where you are seated at that table with your group. But what we would like to do is have you put a prayer request on that card, and we will pray for that prayer request. Our staff will in the coming weeks. So please do that for us. I'm going to have Corey lead us in a prayer to get started in that prayer time and to pray for you. Okay? And we're really glad that you guys are here again. Our clothing ministry is going to be open in just a little bit, and Jeremy will tell you a little bit more about that. Corey, lead us in prayer.
Heavenly Father, we just thank you again for this time together. We thank you for the many blessings upon us, Lord. And we thank you for the time that we can spend in fellowship and just to learn about you more, to know you more, Lord. And I just pray that this will be a time of just getting closer to you, Lord. And a time of just reconciliation, Lord, that people may come to know you, Lord. Again, Lord, I thank you again for this opportunity, and I just pray for the blessings upon the people here in Jesus' name.
All right, you guys, spend some time in prayer.